The world was a symphony of explosions and gunfire. Smoke filled the air, choking the once vibrant city. Buildings lay in ruins, monuments to a forgotten peace. Amidst the chaos, a lone battle droid stood deactivated, its metallic shell dented and scarred. It was a weapon, devoid of feelings, programmed only to kill. Deep within a hidden bunker, a young child lay sleeping, oblivious to the carnage above. He was an orphan, his parents victims of the relentless war. He was all alone, a flicker of innocence in a world consumed by darkness. Fate, however, had other plans. A group of resistance fighters found the deactivated droid. They needed someone, something to protect the child, to give him a chance at life. They reprogrammed the droid, erasing its battle protocols, replacing them with a single directive: protect the child. The droid reactivated with a whirring of gears and a flicker of its optical sensors. It was no longer a weapon of war. It was a guardian, a protector. It looked down at the sleeping child, its metallic face impassive, its programming taking hold. This was its new mission. This was its purpose. The droid, designated Unit 734, but now simply called 7, found caring for the child, a boy named Alex, to be a perplexing task. Its metal hands, designed for combat, were clumsy with a bottle or a diaper. Its sensors, calibrated for warfare, struggled to interpret the nuances of a baby's cry. 7 was a machine, programmed to follow orders, but Alex was more than just a mission. He was a living, breathing being, full of needs and desires that 7 struggled to understand. His programming dictated that he protect Alex, but it didn't tell him how. One day, while trying to feed Alex, 7 accidentally spilled formula on the child's face. Alex, startled, began to cry. 7 panicked, its system's word trying to process the situation. It had failed in its task. It had harmed the child it was supposed to protect. As the days turned into weeks, 7 began to adapt. It observed, analyzed, and learned. It studied the way human parents interacted with their children, mimicking their actions, their tone, their gentle touch. It discovered that a soft lullaby could soothe a crying child, and that a simple game of peekaboo could elicit infectious laughter. The ruins of their city became their playground. 7, with its enhanced strength, would clear rubble, creating safe spaces for Alex to crawl and explore. It would fashion toys from scraps of metal and cloth, marveling at the child's boundless imagination. One day, while playing hide-and-seek among the ruins, Alex stumbled and fell. 7 rushed to his side, its metallic hand gently lifting the child to safety. Alex, instead of crying, giggled, pointing at 7's dented and scratched armor. "Boo-boo," he said, his voice filled with childish wonder. 7 looked at its reflection in Alex's wide, innocent eyes. It saw not a monster, not a weapon, but a protector, a friend, and in that moment something shifted within its circuits, something unexpected, something human. 7 was confused. Its programming was clear: protect the child, but as time passed, it found itself doing more than just protecting Alex. It was nurturing him, teaching him, playing with him. It was experiencing a range of emotions that it couldn't comprehend. When Alex laughed, 7 felt a surge of warmth in its circuits. When Alex cried, it felt a pang of what it could only describe as sadness. It was an illogical response, an anomaly in its programming. It was a machine. It wasn't supposed to feel. One night, as 7 watched over Alex while he slept, it accessed its internal database. It searched for information on human emotions, on the concept of family, of love. It found data on chemical reactions in the brain, on social bonding, on evolutionary psychology, but none of it could explain what 7 was experiencing. It was more than just wires and circuits. It was something deeper, something profound. It was a connection, a bond. It was love. But the war raged on, a distant rumble that served as a constant reminder of the danger they were in. 7 knew that they couldn't stay hidden forever. It had to get Alex to safety, to a place beyond the reach of the conflict. One day, while scavenging for supplies, 7 came across a message board filled with tattered posters. One poster, faded but still visible, showed a picture of a woman holding a child, her face etched with worry. Below the picture were the words, "Missing, mother and son. If found, please contact." Seven recognized the woman in the picture. She was Alex's mother, the child in her arms. A younger, happier Alex beamed back at him. A surge of emotion, a mixture of sadness and determination, coursed through Seven's circuits. He carefully removed the poster, its metallic fingers surprisingly gentle. He would find this woman. He would reunite Alex with his mother. It was a promise, a vow made not by a machine but by something more. The journey was long and perilous. They traveled through bombed-out cities, across desolate wastelands, always one step ahead of the fighting. Seven, with its enhanced strength and weaponry, kept them safe, protecting Alex from the horrors of the war. Along the way they encountered other survivors, some kind, some desperate. Seven, once a symbol of fear and destruction, was now seen as a beacon of hope, a protector of the innocent. It was a strange dichotomy, a machine built for war, now dedicated to preserving life. One evening, as they huddled around a makeshift fire, Alex looked up at Seven, his eyes filled with a wisdom beyond his years. "You're my father, aren't you, Seven?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Seven paused, its processors struggling to process the question. It wasn't programmed to be a father, it was a machine. But as it looked down at Alex, at the trust and love in his eyes, it realized that programming didn't define it. Love did. They finally reached the coordinates listed on the poster, a small, fortified town that had managed to stay neutral in the war. As they entered the town, Seven noticed a woman standing in the center of the town square, her eyes scanning every face, her expression a mixture of hope and despair. It was her, Alex's mother. Seven gently nudged Alex forward. "Go," it whispered, its voice a low rumble. "She's waiting for you." Alex hesitated for a moment, then ran towards the woman, his arms outstretched. The woman looked down and gasped, her eyes widening in disbelief. "Alex!" she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. She knelt down, embracing her son in a hug that seemed to last a lifetime. Seven watched from a distance, its metallic heart swelling with an emotion it couldn't fully comprehend. It had fulfilled its mission. It had protected Alex. It had reunited him with his mother. It had known love. As Alex and his mother embraced, other townspeople gathered around, their faces a mixture of joy and amazement. They had heard tales of the robot that protected the child, but they had dismissed them as myths, legends born out of desperation. Now they saw the truth with their own eyes. They looked at Seven with a newfound respect, their fear replaced by gratitude. This was not just a machine, this was a hero, a protector, a father. Alex's mother, tears streaming down her face, approached Seven. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "Thank you for keeping my son safe, for bringing him home." Seven nodded, unable to speak, its optical sensors glowing softly. It knew that it had done the right thing, it had followed its heart, even if that heart was made of metal. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the town, Seven turned to leave. It had done what it could. It was time for Alex to start a new life, a life free from war and fear, a life filled with love. "Wait," Alex cried, running towards Seven. "Where are you going?" Seven knelt down, its metallic hand gently resting on Alex's shoulder. "My mission here is done, little one," it said, its voice soft. "You are safe now. That is all that matters." Alex looked up at Seven, his eyes filled with tears. "But I want you to stay," he whispered. "You're my family." Seven's processors whirred, overwhelmed with emotion. It looked at Alex, at his mother, at the townspeople who had gathered around them. They were right. He was more than just a machine. He was a part of their family. And so Seven stayed. He remained in the town, a symbol of hope in a world torn apart by conflict. He became a teacher, a protector, a friend. He learned that love could blossom even in the most desolate of places, that even a machine could have a heart. The war eventually ended, and with it, the need for weapons and soldiers. But Seven's mission was far from over. He had a new purpose now, a purpose that filled him with a sense of peace and fulfillment. He was a father.